So I'm finally getting around to putting some measuring tape on my MFT rail, similar to this Craig system I put on here, which I really love for my Capex. It's really worked well. I've been missing it over here when I'm cutting the sheet stuff. So I've got one of these stops, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this rail, and then I'm going to set up exactly 500mm with my template marker here to the blade, and then go ahead and stick the tape on. Have that, I tend to have that level one there, and then bring this in, push that on there, bring that in, and there's my marker. I've decided to go here and put the tape there because the tape I've bought is too thick, too high for here or here, and this way I can use the back of that as my marker. Okay, with a bit of luck, it should be spot on. So I'll come in here, you can see I've used the very back edge of the marker, so to set it to 60 would be there. While we're looking at the MFT setup, I'll show you the saw I tend to use mostly on here. And I know this is more of a site saw than it is a shop saw, but I've got a problem in here that I've only really got one vac, and it's just down there, an old trend vac, and I tend to have to, I'll show you here, I've got to plug it into the sander, or if I'm going to use my router, I've got to go down to that pipe, and it comes down here, and I pull it down and plug it in here, and if I'm going to use my Capex, it goes up there by my horrible roof. So I'm constantly moving this pipe around. If I'm working in the middle of the shop, I've got a wire here, and it does move along and stretch right along this wire so I can move around. But it does slow me down. So I found with this saw, I made this adapter, and this sort of cradles the TS75, which is my larger saw, and also this one, which is the HKC55, and it's battery, and the dust extraction here, other than MDF, is absolutely fine for what I'm doing. So it means I can just leave my saw here on the edge of the table. It's very light, the battery lasts, for me, what I'm doing, the battery lasts all day. I use a very thin blade. I tended to go with this craft blade. I found it really good. It's slightly thinner than the kerf of, less kerf than the Festool blade, much cheaper, and it works really well. So basically, I'll bring my work over, I'll set my height, then I'll plunge the saw, make my cut. When I'm finished my cut, just tip it up and leave it there. And it just works really well for me. Probably not everyone's cup of tea. There is a bit more dust that comes out on the side here, but it works fine, and I find it really quick and easy to use. I thought it might be time also to fill in this big cut in the top of the MFT. So I've got some 9mm MDF left over, so I'm just going to route out a 20mm trench and then hopefully stick some 9mm MDF straight in it. So to get it square, I've just cut a couple of pieces quickly there. I'll stick them on a peg, and use those as my square. I'm not going to route right up to the end. So, cut a groove here. Straight through. Just cut a little piece from the end. Just to fix that little gouge. And now hopefully I can just keep replacing those 20mm inserts when I wear the next one out. So yeah.